Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of the Ranking Show, where we're going to be taking a look at who fills up this last couple of spots, because last week and the video we kind of looked at why 1 through 8 is. You can check out the video, it'll just be the most recent video on the channel of like who the top 8 is, or who's the best player in Melee right now. You can check that out to understand my reasoning behind that, so we don't have to go over this and that again. But mainly what we're going to be focusing on for this video is talking about these 4 players, potentially more if we get past this 9th and 8th spot, and just finding out who else fills out this top 10, because the top 8 is easy. The top 8 is not easy to order, but the top 8 is easy to figure out who they are. And I guess to an extent, I'd say most people would probably say these 3 guys are doing that, maybe Trif as well. But I mean, there's no reason to kind of expedite on that thing, because that's kind of what we're going to get into right now. The first player I really want to take a look at is probably SFAT, because he's hard to kind of judge. It's Crush. Oh, it's Crush. Okay. All right, I'm done doing my weird intro to Melee Stats podcast kind of thing. So let's look at SFAT, but Kimba is Crush. Oh, he's going under that name now. And cool if I did something with doubles. Doubles is another thing that's like a little too far out of my reach. And I'm also not the biggest fan of doubles. That's anyone who follows my... I think I talk about that like every time I live stream. It's not that I have like a vehement hate of doubles. It's just like, not my cup of tea. Okay, so SFAT. Having a plup win's pretty dope. Even with AMSA, even with Axe, even with S2J. Even with AMSA and Axe is pretty good. If he had a real Zane win, that would be sick. Swedish Delight win is good. Like, yeah, see, these are a lot of... This is a solid spread. Even with iBDW, would have been a whole lot worse before, but now is not as bad in retrospect with his crazy wins. Lost to Hacks, lost to Spud. Man just can't catch a break. I think I probably have this on one of my spreadsheets back here. What's SFAT's wins outside of the top 50? That would be in this one, I believe. Where's my SFAT? Where is... Oh, 12. There we go. I'm going to drag this over here. Oh, so he's a Bimbo loss. Bimbo's is only outside the top 50, unless he's lost anyone outside the top 50 recently. Am I mistaken on that? But I believe that's what his spread looked like. Was this post-Gamo ranking, I believe? So, oh, well, it doesn't help if I have this thing in front of it. Yeah, so that's what SFAT's... So, I mean, not too bad of a spread. Like, there's nothing super concerning here. Well, it depends on, like, how deep his loss is. SFAT at the Mango. What do you mean? Was he? Let's actually, yeah, let me look at SFAT Melee. If he wasn't the Mango, I would probably take whatever results he had with a grain of salt, especially if it's like something ridiculously bad. Yeah, so the only things that would have changed since then, is this Gamo not on there? That's weird. Someone has not been keeping up with that, but let's Smash and Splash, Pound, Lombardi. Was Mr. Lombardi before or after? Oh, we don't have to look at Pound, so we'd only have to look at... Was Pound before? Yeah, so the only thing we have to look at adding on to that Smash and Splash. Yeah, that is really weird as Gamo isn't in here. Someone's been slacking. Mr. SSBM has been slacking. Yeah, but like his major performance is there. Like 2nd in Full Bloom, getting double M by Zane is pretty good. 5th at Gamo, losing to 2 top 6 players. 5th at Pound, losing the 2 top 6 players. Lombardi's where he lost to Bimbo. Okay. Hungry Box Zane. Yeah, like Hungry Box Zane. B-Dref and S2J2 Saint. Like, that's not too bad at all. SFAT's just really, really solid. And he has that plup win that is really, really valuable. Especially where because I value Pluff's consistency a whole lot, so that makes sense for me to value that a little bit more. How's Duck been doing? They recently put out not MDVA, Michigan PR, and Duck was listed as inactive, so I think he's focusing on something else, or just haven't been able to attend a ton of events. That was a 3-foot throw and I missed it. Yeah, but Duck's just basically been inactive. I don't know any of the specifics of that, but his 0-4 against S2J his record spread doesn't look too pretty, but he's still sick. So let's look at S2J's spread again. I think it might just come down to, because like they all have are littered with some bad wins up here. Ginger beat S2J. I forgot about that. That's insane. Ginger's been playing, I think a lot of when I talk about Ginger's rank, and I think Ginger's probably top 30 at this point. I feel like I really underrate Ginger a lot because I'm a big fan of Ginger or anyone who plays Falco. So I feel like I'm internally being no, Ginger's worse than he actually is because I don't want to seem biased. But I feel like that's the only player I do that with. Maybe Westballs as well, but we haven't heard anything from him really this year. So SJ lost every set at Summit. Damn. I mean, still, that's a good win for Ginger. I'm happy to see that. Lost to Santi. Beating Falco is hard. He did trade sets and he won the second one, so that's good. But I don't see anything here, winning record on iBDW, I don't see anything here, tremendously worse than SFAT. Nothing here really jumps out to me. And did he have, let me go back in my... None beat Trif twice. I gotta keep this open. I keep on forgetting which rank it would be in. So S2J, I believe. Yeah, those are his worst losses before. So unless he's picked up any unranked losses since then, he's good. Yeah. So no, I feel like S2J, SFAT kind of were floating around a similar level. Now, I'll definitely go back and look at the losses. We're just getting a first good feel for them right now. And then it feels weird for Cody to be all the way down here. Hungry Box win, Mango win, Zane win. God, I think Cody's just I think he's just ninth. A Hungry Box win, and a Mango win, and a Zane win, and an Amza win. Especially all at the same event. I think iBDW's just 9. Because what other losses does he have crazy in here? Trif, Ginger's his worst loss, right? That's insane. He is very similar spread loss. I believe I have a fancy iBDW thing in here. Might have been in the Smash and Splash preview, I believe. Y'all watch my videos, you can tell me. Yeah, that's incredible. And he has got a first place at a regional. I don't think... Does anyone have any doubt in their mind that Cody is not the 9th best player in the world right now? Because I don't think I do. Mango win, Hungerbox win, Zane win. He's so good. And, all these guys around him have, similar losses. Could iBDW be better than Amsa? Nah. He's much cleaner record. Yeah, no. We're not going that crazy. We're not going that crazy. But I think iBDW is a clear 9. Those sets of wins, especially coming at one event, that's insane. He's just I'm so proud of him. I'm sad I didn't make a Rising Player Spotlight. I've always been a big fan of him. Especially because he could always be in here for my ranking streams. Super cool dude. Totally deserves everything all the hype he's getting and all that jazz. Cody's so sick. Alright, so let's look at Trif real quick before we start saying that it's clearly an argument. Trif's has lost it. Where did he lose to NMW? What's Trif's big win is Mewtwo King, which is good, but in the current state of the current king of games, not as good. Yeah, see, I think Trif's inactivity really hurts him. Trif wins. Mutaking, Amsa, Ice, Hacks, Slox, Prof, over Darktooth, Zane, iBDW, Ginger. Good spread of wins. Where do you lose the NMW? That's Omega? Oh, cool. I can't read. Yeah, that's like the only bad loss in there. So, wait, can I? All right, there we go. Now we got it. All right, so comparing these three boys. So, best peaks. What's more valuable? Plup win. So we have on the top, we have S2J as the Zane win, Wizrobe win, Axe win. Zane, Wizrobe, Axe. Pair of three really good players. Two of them are top 3 in the world. One's top 6. SFAT, Plup, he's probably anywhere from like 6, probably 5 to 8. I think that's fair. Zane also in that range. Amsa in that range. Yeah, so we have Zane, Wizrobe, Axe. Let me just some sort of way to write this. No, I don't want to open Photoshop. No, I've made a mistake. SFAT, S2J, Trif. So let's get these boys over here. So I just want to be able to like look at these at the same time. So S2J has Zane, Wizrobe, Axe for his top 3 wins. SFAT has Plup. And SFAT has Plup, Zane, Amsa, Axe. No, he doesn't have Zane. He wished he had Zane. And I wish I had Photoshop out of my way. Amsa, Axe. And then Trif also wishes I had Photoshop out of my way. Well, that's what you get. Trif then has Mutaking, Zane, Amsa. So, just going off this, which pair of 3 is a better set of wins to have? Let's get Olazun. Oh shoot, the ruse has been broken. Let me get that out of the screen so it's not distracting. So, which of these 3 pairs is a better wins to have? Plup, Amsa, Axe. So, 1 top 3 player, 2 top 3 players, 0 top 3 players. If that's how we're gonna look at that, I do think S2J probably has the strongest set of wins here. I think Zane, Wizzy, Axe is the strongest here. Mutaking would have, like, early in the year, this Mutaking win is insane. Like, beating Mutaking, like, obviously Mutaking's fantastic, but like the fact that he's fallen off the face of the earth, at least melee wise, really, it's horrible for Trif. I mean, it's also horrible for Mutaking because I miss having him in the game. He's a really cool player. But very horrible for Trif, even though Trif is still probably like top 20 in Oregon. S2J seems to be the general consensus. I'm glad we all agree there. So we got number 1 boy. We're going to move you over. This is not like exclusively by the ranking. I want to go back one more time and just kind of scan their worst losses and kind of think about it again. And then comparing these two. Now I'm trying to, I want to compare these two. I'm trying to, because my thought process went to, when comparing a Zane win to SFAT, being like, SFAT's not going to beat Zane. Like that, I don't want to, like, kind of what I tried to do with the video last week is like split these into 3 separate parts, but I just want to think about who's the better pair here. So Axe, top 3 player, inarguable. He doesn't have any top 3 players here. Amsa and Plup, they're hanging around the fringe, 6 to 8. Mutaking, God, it's such a weird win to gauge. These are both kind of weird wins to gain. So if it was just this pair, I'd say SFAT has the stronger wins. I'd probably say it's SFAT by a hair. What do you guys think? When did SFAT beat Axe Pound? Yes, SFAT is getting closer to turning it around. He went from like it being a curb stomp to him like I don't know where to go to the next step of that analogy is. Okay, but SFAT, you guys do think it's Mutaking doesn't match up to a top 3 player? Yeah, because I guess essentially I guess if we think about it like this, which is probably the proper way to think about it, we're comparing these 2 wins, and I think Pub Axe is stronger than, say, Mutaking. That's smart. Good thinking, chat. Using logic. Who would have thought the statistical analysis channel using logic is better? Okay, so exclusively by best wins, it would be SJ, SFAT, Trif. So how does SJ's losses compare to Trif's losses? Because I think SFAT having that Bimbo loss probably makes his losses the worst out of here. But how did Trif versus SJ? And this is a little bit harder because Trif has been fairly inactive compared to SJ. Well, because he's a foreign player, it's hard for him to get in here to play some sets. So it's really hard with non-American players to rank them. So let's see these 2 losses. Let's highlight these 2. Actually, it makes it more obnoxious. It's already small enough we can compare. So actually, let's go right to left. So S2J has a Santi loss, Santi Ginger. iBDW. If he's ranking above it, we're not gonna count that as a bad loss. So Santi. So yeah, S2J, Santi Ginger, Face Roll, Fiction. Yeah, I should. Let me make another category for these boys. Okay, what was I gonna do? Santi. Let's go back over here. So, Santi Ginger, Face Roll ×2, Fiction. Face. Fiction. Trif has an iBDW win. That's also pretty good. Yeah, let me continue filling this in. That would maybe be a tiebreaker at some point. But S2J also has a iBDW win as well. They all have iBDW wins, yeah, so that really doesn't change for any of that. So I'm gonna schmoop that. Trif double eliminated Amsa that one tournament, if I'm correct, right? Yeah, that's where he gets his Amsa win from. West Balls, Lucky, Pew Pew. West, Lucky, Pew Pew. And we have Bimbo. We're just kind of going through here. I just want to make sure I have their losses to accurately compare. So we got Bimbo, Spud, Hacks, Fiction, Spud, Hacks, Fiction. Yeah, thank you. I remember last week I wasn't sure about that one event where Trif went secondaries, but someone told me about that. Army. That's it. Okay. Sorry about this little intermittent kind of having to fill this in. I just want to make sure I have all the data like in front of me so I can like accurately not talk out of my ass when I'm talking about losses here. And then Trif's bad losses are... Is it just Pew Pew? Wow. That's really good. That's really good. Damn. How many more events have these two been compared to him? NMW. Okay. NMW does... It kind of reels it back in, at least for me. He's been to very few events. So who's the worst? So let's go. Well, Trif. We have the equation of comparing. We're having to worry about attendance. So we're gonna just for a moment, we're going to look at these two boys side to side, because they probably have attended about the same number of events. So Bimbo's obviously the worst loss of any of these ones. Maybe NMW. Yeah, those two are like both pretty bad losses. Does SFAT have better? I think just the wealth of people he's lost to. Obviously, it shows that Falcon is a bad matchup for S2J, or at least S2J is not the best at that. 2 face roll losses. Yeah, where were these face roll losses across similar events? Were they 2 events? Where are these at? And what's his spread against him? No, I don't want to look at doubles. I never want to look at doubles. Being up 3-1 on Fiction kind of mitigates that loss a bit for me. 3-2 on face roll makes it seem like that's kind of like a coin flip. Yeah, that's essentially like a coin flip for that matchup. Are they back and forth? Yeah, back and forth with him having the edge recently, but that's kind of can't really mitigate that for me. SFAT against Fiction's kind of mitigated with that 3-1 record. Him trading sets with West Balls and him trading sets with Fiction. I think SFAT has better consistency, which feels weird to say, especially with him having that loss. Yeah, I think SFAT probably would like edge him out. Like, still that Bimbo loss is bad, but trading sets with face roll, dropping sets to Ginger, Santi. Yeah, I think am I crazy for saying such a thing, that I think even with this Bimbo loss, SFAT has better, and I have to put these Fiction ones back in here because it's very different where SFAT has dropped once at the Fiction, whereas I believe we just looked at this. I want to make sure I'm not talking out my ass, that S2J trade sets with, or has traded sets with Fiction. Cool. I'm going to accept the silence as no counteracting opinions, but I do like believe that SFAT has better lens over that. And Trif, yeah, you said check out his Liquipedia page. Does his Liquipedia page have all of his events he's attended listed? Actually, my reference one from only is not missing, and that's wrong because that was no, it's just gonna resize. Yeah, so 9th at Genesis. Where did he place at Summit? Not that placings matter, which is another video I kind of want to make. But winning 2 10s in events in Europe is cool. Having an iBDW win is cool. Having all these. Can I give him the benefit of the doubt? How much benefit of the doubt? That's always the issue with ranking any European players. Like, where does giving the benefit of the doubt for a player stop? How much is fair and how much is unfair to give Trif to a European player? It's so hard. It's always so hard. Nope, this is the wiki. So used to just going straight to the wiki. And I hate Liquipedia. That is a very pretty looking year. I'm surprised his schism on here. At least it shows that he's playing Falco there. He still won $26. God, that's a good looking year. God. I don't know if I can put. It's so tough ranking European players. It always comes down to like how much you want to value this. God. Hey Bootstrings, what's up? We're talking about best win. I should like label these things. Losses. So anyone jumping in is not immensely confused. Best wins. So oh, Bootstrings, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. I forgot that's a thing that people can do. That's dope. I gotta get these better emotes. I want to switch this with one of the ones from the Melee Stats Discord with the angry SaveAsUntitled. But that's something I've kind of put on the back burner. I actually probably look into that after here. God, but ranking European players is so hard. Bootstrings the homie. I was actually talking about your the potential for that axe video earlier, but that was like before the show started though. But god damn it, I gotta rank someone higher. I don't think I can put Trif over either of these guys. He's performed well at his but he beat Mutagang at his Mutagang, Zane, and Amsa at US events. Well, he beat Amsa at European event twice. Oh man, I don't think I can put Trif over these two. God, the rankings are so hard now. I mean, they're never easy, but okay, gun to my head right now, I have to rank these guys. Okay, so if we go to 100 tournaments, who's going to perform the best? 100 tournaments, randomized seed. Well, not randomized seeds. My heart says SFAT. My heart really does say SFAT. The Plumplin's good. It's hard. It's much easier to have a sparkling record when I'm not... God, this is going to sound horrible, even in context. I'm not saying Europe is a weaker region, but, like, it's taking first place at, let's see. Let me pull up an event for an example. Valhalla 2. What does the talent look like that is intended? Like, I think Nebi, Prof, over all these players are good, but, like, taking first at this event versus taking first at, like... the Roast to Hugo or something is two very different things. Like, I don't feel like I need Trif to have... Oh, it's so hard. I don't think I can have Trif above either of these two. And I think that's just, like, an unfortunate... God. This is so hard because I feel like I know Trif's a great player, but I don't know where to place him within this. God. So, okay, this is my preliminary rankings. I'll go SFAT, S2J, Trif. All right. So, hit me with some arguments why this is wrong, guys. Also, Cola, thank you for the bits. Hit me with some arguments why you don't think this SFAT, Trif, S2J. Okay, Orange, why would you have Trif over S2J? Bits for Trif. Bits aren't gonna get me to change my opinion on ranking someone. That would be very unfair to the whole. It would undermine the legitimacy of the entire process. So what the argument for Trif over S2J? The argument for Trif over either of these two is that Trif has only, and every European event he's been to, he's gotten first place. Besides the one where he played his secondaries. S2J is losing to too many players. I think that's the biggest thing holding me back from putting S2J any higher. Because the litany of losses, the almost trading sets with face roll, the trading sets with fiction, that scares me. And though SFAT will have these occasional losses outside, like where he had those 2 puff losses last year, SFAT is super consistent. SFAT is a tremendously good player. How many times has S2J beaten Zane this year? Let's take a look at how that head-to-head has gone. I believe Zane turned that around. Oh, let me take out my fancy sheet. Not my fancy sheet, my slightly edited. Yeah, even with Zane. With him losing the second set. One of those sets are put in wrong. I remember that from before. I forget which one is it. It's damn hard, but it's my opinion, yeah. It really is so hard. Like, I feel like that's why I kept on having the say in the video, like, all of these orders are feasible. Like, I understand. But S2J is the best wins and the worst losses. I think that's fair. And then SFAT probably is the second best wins and The second worst losses? Yeah. I don't know the balance in activity. Yeah, probably the second worst losses. But he wins those sets. He trades sets with Army, I believe. I do like that consensus that Trif does have. I think for me, I think SFAT is like 10 for me. Because he's super consistent. SFAT, S2J, Trif. That's what I'm leaning to right now. Can you value S2J's win on Axe as well when he's a negative record on Axe, got blown up? See, that's an interesting Ice Rabbit. That's an interesting point, because I think the way I think about it. So let's go to that. So you're saying S2J 1-3 against Axe. So now that we're living in the world where Axe is Axe is a top 3 player, which I think at worst, I think someone would argue he's like top 5. Like I could maybe see 5th, like off the top of my head being his worst. So now that loss, instead of when Axe was 10 and S2J was 11, like him being 1-3 on Axe is really bad when they're right up next to each other. But if now that Axe is perceived to be up here, having one win on that person is incredible. But if they're right here, being 1-3 is bad, having 1-4 is bad. Like when Zane was like more in SFAT's range of the top 10, like actually no, that's kind of a bad example. Yeah, but I think I at least myself perceive it differently, because if S2J and Axe were close to each other, that would be really bad against him, or at least would definitely push me more in Axe's favor. But because it's like Amza having a win over Hungrybox. If Hungrybox was ranked 7 and Amza was 8, and he was, well, I guess that's a bad example because Amza's, I believe they're 1-1 for the year or something like that. That's a really weird record as well. But because he's so far above, like because Amza's down here, and having that even record is also incredible. I think if that gets my point across, even though I got kind of rambly. My bias for Trif is leaning too hard. I think Trif is a very like tentatively 12. Like I remember when Cody was doing this list on his stream, he was doing like this where he put asterisks next to people that he was looking for more information from. And he did beat NMW at that tournament later, as I forget who mentioned that. I think that was Cola. But I feel like Trif is like one more good tournament in the US from just being like, I just need more information from him, because I want to reward people who attend more events, and like that's kind of like a terrible consequence that's kind of built into that. There's like an anti-European bias in a sort of ranking like this. But I think Trif is like one good event, one more. God, if this Mewtwo King win, which I couldn't see being like Mango or Plup or anyone else in that range, like I could, if that was like anyone else who was in the top 6 at the beginning of the year, I think Trif would have a much better argument for being up there. He didn't play him in losers. He did win the tournament. Okay, he didn't beat him again. Yeah, so that even more kind of iffies that NMW loss for me. How's he historically favored against Falcon? Does anyone have a good feel for that top of the head? Is that a problem matchup for Trif? Now that's probably going to change my ranking at this point. Is he? Let's take a look at 2018. Lost to Sechi last year. That was against his Mewtwo, Marth and Falco. Let's see. 0-3 on S2J. Did he take games? So, is there anyone more in his range of Falcon that we could get a look at? He played against 1-4 against Ice. Beat Gatsu. So maybe it's not a problem matchup. I'm just curious, kind of looking for any sort of trends in there. When I see, even though you gotta fight about that, lost Sechi. Yeah. Interesting. So I definitely like Trif someone keep my eyes out for. Still think he's a tremendous player. very easily with one good tournament in the U.S. I just need more data from him. That's all that it is, because he's got a fantastically consistent, besides that NMW loss, record. So, and I don't think we'll finish this on this week's, and I guess after, we're going to have a big discussion after CEO about the rankings, so we're going to focus on that. So, and I don't think we're going to finish this week because when did we start? We started like 20 minutes. We started at probably like 7:10, 7:15-ish. So we're going to try the run until like 8:15. So what I'm going to do with this last like 15, 20 minutes of the show, and I can kind of, just so I save this so I have a good reference of it somewhere, I'll just throw it over here. Let's brainstorm. So, who? Pup has a free win at CEO. Do you want to do a? Well, I guess I'm going to talk about CEO in this week's video, so I don't want to waste time. I can briefly take a look at. I don't want to spend all of this last 15 minutes because it is the ranking show, not the CEO show. Actually, let me ask you guys while you're here, and because you guys have the privilege of spending this next couple of minutes, would you rather have me, even though I'm going to talk about this in this week's video about CEO and like the projected brackets, would you rather have me talk about CEO for this last like 15 minutes, or would you rather have me talk about who else potentially fills in these next like couple spots and kind of brainstorm with me about who would fill in this ranking? What do you guys rather see? What do you think is more appealing to you? And while I'm waiting on that, I can look at like this projected bracket real quick. Top 15? Oh. Yeah, it looks like we gotta... it is the ranking show. I'm just gonna like very briefly talk. CEOs in the video. Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna... Yeah, we'll talk about this more in the video. But Plop has to beat Hungrybox, my dude. Hungrybox is going to beat Zane. I feel it in my bones. Hungrybox wins CEO. He's the best in the world again. Okay, back to top 15. All right. So who are... No, let's not look at 2018 to rank these players. So who are our big boys for this top 15 rankings? All right, so who else has one of these big wins? Moki? I keep on forgetting Moki's not top 50. What's Moki looking like right now? Less ranking, more player spotlight. iBDW possibly. iBDW is 9th best in the world. He is definitely top 15. Cody's so good. All right. No, I don't want. I can't keep talking about Cody. I want to look at Moki. iBDW is winning CEO 2019. All right. Numwin's cool. Well, he was expected to beat None. Do I have a Moki, Lil John? I feel like I have a record of Moki stuff. It's so odd that he's... Well, it's not odd that he's not on the top 50 sheet because he's not top 50 player, but that makes it a lot more difficult to figure out like what he's been doing without having some sort of fancy thing for him. I might have had something for Smash and Fly. No, I probably would have had Summit in the Summit video. Where is Moki? Can you show us the face you make IDW Tumble eliminates H-Box CEO? I mean, that would probably be great for views. Hit him with has Hungrybox gotten worse kind of thing. How's Fiction doing? Oh, I don't know. Top 15 to 20. Yeah, like this is gonna be hard. Especially not having... Well, I'm gonna put Moki on the back burner for a second because it's hard. We don't have like an easy reference for his stats, unlike everyone else. Anyone else have those big wins? Lod beats him at locals. That's like to be expected. Who else has these big wins up here? Bananas has Mewtwo King win, RIP. Bananas is the wins. Bananas has... Oh, yeah. Ooh. Bananas probably has a huge litany of losses, though. Mewtwo King wins aren't that valuable. Aren't nearly as valuable. If they were as valuable as they would have been last year, then he would be... Bananas would be easy up there. Bananas is probably Top 20. I thought I had a. Do I have one for? Yeah, I do. Cool. I don't have a worst losses for him. He probably has a swooper loss. Yeah, I know. I just know in my heart of hearts, you always know that Ice Climbers are going to have really bad losses. Has a bimbo loss as well. Panos wins. Losses swooper, squid, bimbo. Those aren't pretty. The fact that Cactar and Boyd and Ty are listed in those losses, that's it. That's kind of icky. I don't like that. Actually, let's... You know what would make this a whole lot easier? We're going to make another copy of this sheet. So we can kind of check off people as we get rid of them for not being... Like, we know they're good, but they're not next up. So... Banis is not here. We can go down. Swedish has an axe win. Duck Pew Pew. Fiction. Fiction's probably in this like 20 range. Yeah, actually it's probably easier to put people in like a top 20-ish kind of range. Probably. Let's think off the top of my head. Fiction. Moki. Maybe Bananas. Probably Swedish. Probably Pew Pew. Ginger. Yeah, Ginger's up there. Ginger's probably like... Actually, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what Ginger's got on us. Where are you, Ginger? God, it feels so weird. Ginger 40. So Ginger has iBDW win, S2J win, Lucky win. 3 wins on Absent Page. Is a shame they're not as valuable as they used to be. 1 and 4 in KDH is to be expected. He's had control that in a while. Face Roll's probably a contender for top 20 as well. 2 wins on iBDW is pretty sick. Hacks win. Does Ginger have any abysmal losses? Axe, KGH, none, Swedish. Well, yeah. Those aren't bad losses at all. Ginger doesn't have the wins. It's weird because when we start getting up there, like having an S2J and 2 iBDWs, no terrible losses. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna. Is he 20? Is he really in the same conversation? If we're, yeah, I'm just gonna put like players. Link to the spreadsheet. Yeah, I got you. This is Wheat spreadsheet. Crush with the perfect record. R.I.P. Crush. Lost to Mog. Where did he lose to Mog at? Well, you look at that. I'm just gonna continue on here. Who else could be in this conversation? Shroomed. Someone said something about Shroomed. I don't think he's Nuns his best win. Nuns had like a I wonder if Nun is still top 20. Nuns had like kind of a garbage year. Shroomed is probably not in this conversation. Nun didn't pick up any good wins at Summit either, right? Westfalls is his best win. Yeah, he has not had a pretty year. What about Moki? Moki's probably up there. Yeah, Nuns had not a very pretty year at all. Pew Pew really doesn't have the attendance. iBDW wins good. God, no. iBDW's he beat Dreffen twice. Big wins, yeah, big Dreff, man. Yeah, Pew Pew doesn't have. Duck's been inactive, so we can kind of take him out here. Swedish might sneak his way back in with those big. Swedish is probably up there. Mog at the script too. Yeah, so that's not great against his belt, and it kind of pushes him probably the lower end of 20. Swedish is probably still top 20. Oh, I already have him there. So nice. I have to put him in the top 20 twice. But Pew Pew probably doesn't have the guts to get there. Crush definitely doesn't have it there. We already talked about Swedish. Crush is not there. Lucky is 3 and 6 on Face Roll. Face Roll's probably top 20. I want to take a look at that one more time, but Face Roll's probably top 20. You just keep on hearing his name come up. Win on Axe, win on S2J, up on Lucky, even with Army. Even with Army's kind of eh. Down on Westball's kind of eh. Up on Bananas, KJH, a little probably even with Fiction. Swedish Joy Boy and Chew losses, yeah. Slox, Toussaint, and Haxwin are not enough to be a top, not nearly enough to be a top 20 player. I don't even think he meets activity requirements. Who was I just talking about? Face Roll? Yeah, Face Roll's probably... I just want to see who, from like going through, how many players we end up having in this perceived. So we have 7 spots, technically? Yeah, Face Roll. We already talked about him. Luna. No. No. Cody, we already talked about him. Ryan Ford. Trif, we already talked about him, so we can get rid of him. Absent Page is inactive. KJ's top 20. Swedish is his best win. I think he's sweet. I think KJH has that Blue Fox consistency as well, but he just doesn't have those big wins. Yeah, those are some solid. He's probably like right outside. He's probably like right around 25 like he was before. I'm gonna throw him in here. Nope, that's not a 3. What's going on? KJH is top 20. I think Duck is too inactive. Yeah. Put Banana, he's mad good wins. Banana's 0. I'm not, yeah, Cole, I'm not taking people out. I'm just taking people out I've talked about. Just so we can kind of like make sure I kind of hit everything's. Hugs. Yeah, that's from the wins he has against top 50 players. That ain't pretty. Oh, those are his losses? I thought those were his wins. KJH, yes, KJH is probably around that 25 spot as well. Rishi's not up there. There's so many players really that like don't have a lot of data. This ranking period's gonna be weird. Hugs won DreamHack. Beating like Magi. Not that Magi is a bad player. They're super sick, but so winning DreamHack. Duck wins. Hugs, Bananas, Absent Page, Rishi, Fiction, Abu. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Fat Goku loss is not pretty. Like I don't think he has that activity that I want to give it to anyone above him. Westballs is probably just hanging around top 30, definitely below KJH. Like nothing special. Yeah, there's so many players that I'm just like super lukewarm on here. Fat Goku's guys, no, Fat Goku I can't put him on this list. He's already ranked 0, guys. Come on. Keep with the program, guys. Fat Goku's 0. Easy. All right. No, but yeah, what actually is Fat Goku's wins and losses? Misspelled top 2. It's just so hard with any player outside the top 50 because we don't have the wheat sheet for all of that because God, that would be a huge undertaking for him. I don't know what. Chew, Duck, Rishi, that's his wins. What are you guys hyping up Fat Goku for? And Toussaint, what is that? That's not a top 20 player. That's a really good player. That's a good, not a really good player. That's a good player. What do you get out of here with Fat Goku's top 20? Don't hit me with that. Come on. You guys are better than that. He doesn't have any bad losses. Yeah, but those wins, eh. Army goes to a lot of locals. Army's probably like back around here. They're memeing. God damn it. I've been bamboozled. I don't think he's top 20. Are you going to say like after I think he's top 10? Oh, damn it. I got outplayed on the predicting the meme. Army's probably like up there again. 4-0 against Lucky. That's really surprising. I'm not sure about like Army's history with, Lucky's history with the Ice's matchup, but that seems like 1-2 on Mike Hayes. Hello? If we're taking friendlies into accounting for rankings, then we got a whole storm coming. Yeah, like Army's probably right up in here. Hacks might be up there. Where's Hacks on this godforsaken list? Let's see. Hacks' best win is SFAT, which is a pretty nice win to have. Wins on Swedish is pretty cool. Wins on Westballs. KJH. He's got a nice grouping of 0-3 on iBDW. 0-2 on Trif. Losses. Calvar, yeah. Zealous, eh. That's not bad. Yeah, Hacks is probably like about he's probably top 30 by how few people there are. Well, actually, let me change this to make this more accurate of what I'm talking about, because I think this will get the point across more, or at least center me on that. Hacks. It's probably about like there. Did I already slip Ginger in somewhere? Ginger's in, yeah. Where's Chewed at? Where's Spud too? Chewed at Swedish, Pew Pew, Luna. What absurd player did Chewed at probably lose to? Wes has had an okay year, better than his last two. Last year, 2 years ago, no, it was last year, I think, he had those Wizrobe wins. I think that's better than whatever he is now. Judat lost to Chango. There you go. You always know with Ice Climbers players, they're going to have some weird, just off-the-wall loss, because Icy's is weird. Chango. Yeah, choose, like, here. Choose probably top 50 because there's not enough players with good wins and bad losses. Chango, Fat Goku, and Shroom. What a group. What a squad we've got right there. Spud. God, Spud. SFAT win. iBDW win. Even though you got double eliminated. Yeah, Phantom. Spud's probably up there. Spud gets that benefit of the doubt. Spud's probably there-ish. Army's lost the Mog. Who's Mog keep on beat? Where's Mog's top 50? Guys, I told you that Chew would be fringe. Everyone thinks I hate Chewdat. I don't hate Chewdat. Even though I do, no, I'm not going to get into that again. No, but I don't hate Chewdat. I don't hate any player. Mogpog. Who's Mogpog / what does he play? I've never, that name is, I might be exposing myself as a fraud. Who's Mogpog? What region is he in? Who's he play? Oh, see you, Bootstrings. Thank you for coming in, and thank you especially for that Twitch Prime sub. That is incredible. Mog is an NE Peach. Okay. MDVA Peach. That is pretty sick. Hey, hit me with that emote. Mog is next rising player spotlight on Mog. Actually, that's not too bad of an idea with the wins. He keeps on coming up, guys. He's good. Lod's probably like here, just for being good, having his name win. Maybe like there. He's either like there or inactive. That's basically where the one of two places Lod will end up. Let's see. Santi. June is Rishi and Zame. Yeah, so June's probably like a back where he is. I think I ranked June like in the 30s for last year's ranking. Yeah, June's like here. Locally good though. Yeah, like Lod beats Zane locally. Like MDV players must be so thankful with how good Zane is. Group Rising player style like videos, low tier mid. That would be interesting. For all the low tier main. It's kind of what I did with the where all the Pikachu videos. I love to make another one like that, like talk about like Luigi's or like Doc's or Yoshi's or something like that. That'd be fun. Talk about like Peanut Phobia and Nebby again, and I'm exposing myself for not knowing enough Yoshi's off the top of my head. Okay, anyone else? So many, yeah, there's so many players that are just like, well, they're players, like Kalamazoo. He's got 2 wins on this list. Where do we rank him? Melee, it's so weird how it feels like there's so much life. Curb, yeah. Super has a mad good year. It's so weird how much life Melee feels like it has right now, but how many players around this level are just kind of, eh. Lucky's probably around here again. With how inactive, yeah, no, Lucky's probably still like top 20, maybe. KGH is probably, I don't want to say that. I have no, Fat Goku's probably top 50. You can probably name 19 players that are either inactive or that he has better wins from to get him down to 50. Like, I think that's totally feasible. Curb doesn't get talked about enough. He's like the token Game & Watch main. I feel like everyone talks about Curb. So I did put Lucky somewhere. I put Army somewhere too, right? We almost got everyone out of the top 50 that I have felt is reasonable enough to be put somewhere. We already put Lod in. Chillin' is top 50. Who's Chillin' beaten? What's Curb's good wins? Did he get anything good at the script? Not the script. Yeah, the script. I forgot that was this year. God. The regional that I was at. What a tournament. Edwin made bracket by grinding ladder and then destroyed me with his Bowser. I think I beat Wheat in a Peach Ditto. I'm pretty sure I beat Wheat and a Yoshi and a Peach Ditto. Maybe my memory. Stango could be top 20. All right, guys. All right. I've had enough of this. Chat is canceled. Comments are disabled on the video. Ratings are also disabled. Curve is Ryan Fit. Like that end of that 42nd H12. I can never say that name correctly. HT, Cobb, and Vortex. But let's go. Let's talk about players who we actually have the data on. Gatsu, PP win. Gatsu's maybe top 40. That's fairly inactive. I don't want to make any statements on him. We already talked about Fiction. What's Cobalt up to? Just beating Gatsu at locals, apparently. Yeah, that's about it. It's really gonna suck for all those people who usually put up those like big wins at Evo, and that's it. Ryan Ford has a singular loss. Wow, that's so sad to see. Just like a singular loss on his sheet. Cyrox, does he have even less than that? Does he not have he doesn't have a single match on his sheet. Hacks, I believe we already put in. Mike Hayes might be just like, you're just seeing how many people just, I'm not taking the time to put in here because of inactivity. Ice has been getting destroyed, right, by anyone else who would be on the sheet. And by that, I just mean Trif. So Ice is In my videos, I never talk about Curb. It's hard to talk about everyone. There's so many players. Like, I'd love if every week I could just talk about, like, Curb and West Balls and Magi, I would do it, but try to stay diverse. Let's see. Michael. Yeah. I'm just kind of going down the line at this point because we're probably going to, after I go through everyone, we're probably going to end this off. Oh, this is just getting sad. I'm going to stop hiding them because we're almost there. Nothing. Like, honestly, Mike Hayes, someone, I don't know if you're a meme or not, saying Mike Hayes is probably top 50 or said you're top 30. These probably, like, even with fiction, even with face roll, some of those losses are bad. Oh, hey, Magi, what's up? That's an interesting question. Are you going to be top 50? With having that mango win just might, with so many inactive people, that might make you top 50, which is kind of crazy. Like, honestly. Because there's so many inactive people. It's like, how many people can say they have a mango win? That's my hot take for this ranking season. Yeah, like, yeah, Junebug and Absent Page wins are incredible. That's interesting too, because those are two weird people to have wins on, because June is like, June is probably going to be top 40 or inactive, and Absent Page is going to be like top 30 or inactive. Not to take away how good those wins are. It's just that's weird. That's unfortunate people that have wins are. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with Absent Page. We'll have to see when the ballot comes out if he's on there. And we'll have to move from there. Yeah, King Arthur, that's what I was kind of tied with Ginger. Well, it doesn't matter what placing Curb got at Gamo. It matters who he beat at Gamo. Nut and Cool Lime. Yeah, those are kind of iffy. But yeah, I think honestly, like, thinking after going through and kind of being depressed by how many people I was able to hide on the sheet from just being inactive, Curb beat Ryan Ford. I really think, Magi, I really think you have a very decent shot at being top 50. Anyone with like one of those big fringe wins has a really good shot at being. No, Mango's not a fringe win, but you also have good wins to back that up. But I guess that kind of depends ballot to ballot. I remember I had Flipsy higher than a lot of other people had last year for his Mango win. Curb might be top. Curb's probably top 100. Get carried by best of 3 easy. Yeah. What's your name? Bathhorse, thank you for the follow. Yeah, but Mike Hayes is in there. Blade-wise, does he have a singular win on here? It's against Mike Hayes, so if Mike Hayes is up there, God, I hate the slippery slope you get on once you rank one person. Santi if he's active enough, he's probably top 100 with an S2J win. God, and Ginger win. No, those and a Mike Hayes win, the clear top 30. God damn it, the slippery slope just keeps on going down. Santi's probably in there too. God. Fat Goku top 40. Fat Goku is the best player in the game right now, guys. I'm actually going to delete that video and just replace it with a video about how Fat Goku is the best. Either Slox or Toussaint get in there? Maybe. God, Crush might be top. Oh my God, I'm done with your hot takes, Cole. I think I'm also done with this episode of the ranking show because I'm just getting sad looking about all these people who aren't here anymore. It's like it's just so sad. I guess Melee hasn't been super active this year. Even though it feels we're like so much in the heat of it, and the summer's always so active. Look at the current SoCal VR. Well, at least next week we'll have a lot more interesting conversations to have. Next week's ranking show will probably be like almost exclusively dedicated to seeing how the rankings have changed after CEO, because I probably won't be making another who's top 10 after CEO, because one, I feel like I've kind of saturated the market with that. I've had enough of that. I think we've all had enough of me making top 10 videos, and then I want to branch out and make some more fun stuff, especially because this week's going to be a storylines at CEO. But Hope you enjoyed this episode of The Ranking Show. Thank you guys for coming to hang out in the chat, and thank you all you people who are watching the VOD on Tuesday morning. I stream every Monday at 7 p.m. doing The Ranking Show, kind of talking about the events of last weekend, or if there wasn't anything big, kind of filling out the ranking from there. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for coming to hang out. Thank you again, Bootstraps, for the Twitch Prime sub. The true homie. I'm going to make my emotes better so people have a more enticing reasons to subscribe. But, yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you on Thursday. And also, there's probably that piece of mobile content coming out on Wednesday. So pay attention to Twitter for that. New video coming Thursday. And, yeah. Go Birds.